Good evening and welcome back, everybody, to the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament 2022. I am Gambit017, and I am here for this late night match between ArchfieldMonk and Guelph35. Archfield, having already raced once in this tournament, has a 1-0 record. Guelph, this is going to be their first race. And we are looking forward to a very, very weak start, as we have a nice 6 strength, which is going to be, well, let's hope we find lots of slimes early. But behind the scenes today, we have Syntroid41 doing the tracking for us. I've got MathGirl doing the restream, and I am going to be hopefully soothing you over the course of the next couple hours, however long this MathGirl seat takes. Well, let's get started and see what we have in the throne room. Okay, we have 2 Pac-Man sprites today. It looks like we're going to have double keys and gold. This is a great start for our runners. I expect both of them to immediately go open up the back of Tantagel and use that gold we just got to purchase a bunch of keys. So I think keys are going to be well taken care of very, very early on. Yes, it is a Ghost C. We're hoping that the Dragon Lord doesn't have any of the magic pellets that turns them, into the blue ghosts and can eat them. But here we go with simultaneous key buyings. Gonna buy as much as we can and then immediately head back over to the treasury. Let's see what's in there. Both runners probably hoping for some more gold, not only to be able to buy more keys, but to set up a gold grind later on. And yep, there it is. 1 gold. 2 gold. Fairy water. Another fairy water. So 2 golds, 2 fairy waters. We've got ArchfieldMonk stocking up on fairy waters. Also has the other gold set up for the gold grind. Unfortunately, Guelph grabbed the 2 gold chests and left only the fairy water chests, which little unfortunate there. So no gold grind available at the moment for Guelph. But Archfield definitely going to go ahead and gold grind up. Goes up to about 6,000. That should be a nice, able to buy some things, depending on what's nearby. Looks like we are starting on the north side of the map in a little desert with a lot of forest surrounding it. Guelph's going to go ahead and dive down below Tantagel. Let's see what's down here today. And it is Harp Turning Cave. That's actually a very nice thing to know. Able to turn into Harp when we find it. And I love the strats here for ArchfieldMonk using those fairy waters that we grinded up. Kills the skeletons, going to jump up a couple levels. We have 10, 2, 7, 18, hurt, and hurt more. I think we're ready to go. Early hurt more. Woo! This one might be a little bit of a jet, depending on where everything is. We do have a cave down here on Archfield's side. Let's see if we take a look. We do. And I think that's mountain. You guys chat will have to help me out. I am not very good with dark caves. So it's definitely either mountain or gray, but yeah, I'm thinking mountain from what I could see in the box. Archfield unfortunately running into an Axite, sent home. Guelph unfortunately runs into a Demon Knight, does get away, and immediately finds a green dragon that's going to send him home. So both runners kind of pushing a little bit out and not going very far and getting sent right back home. On the bright side, this trip home does refill their MP, so that Hurt More spell that we picked up is about to be able to be used very, very well. Archfield now taking the time to go find the Harp Training Cave underneath Tantagel. Probably not what he wanted to see. Oh, hi. Ghosts have Hurt More. And Guelph going back home immediately. Archfield again is going to go jump in the mountain cave. Have a little bit better luck finding just a regular slime. I love it. Ghost More. Very, very cool. Well, yeah, Guelph immediately using the fairy water and the ghost saying that, no, you're not doing that to me again. Archfield, in the meantime, finds the Demon Knight in the mountain cave. He's going to get sent back home. I have a feeling deaths are going to come quite a decent bit on these early mountain dives. Archfield taking advantage using the fairy water as a repel spell. He's going to try to do a little bit of exploring. So we can tell we started on the far north of the map. Archfield unfortunately running into a wyvern. It's going to get the Hurt More off. And there we go. It's going to be another level for Archfield. We have 3, 0, 2, 2, and sleep. So not the level you want to write home about. Well, Axeight's going to back attack and send Archfield back home. Wolflord, Guelph side, sends them back home. And thank you, OOG37 for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody from the Raiders. You're joining us at the beginning of this seed. Had some low strength to start, but some fairy waters early on allowed us to jump some levels, early Hurt More. And right now we're just kind of doing a little bit early exploring. Archfield's deciding wants to take advantage of the Hurt More and do some early grinding here next to Tantagel. Both using the fairy waters to great effect against the scorpions. As 8061, I believe, I saw for the next level over on Archfield's side. Oh, Guelph gets a low roll on the Hurt More on the Axite, and the Axite says, no, you can go back home. In the meantime, Archfield looks like they're going to explore out to the east a little bit. And it looks like we found the far east of the map. So we are in the northeast corner for the most part. Be interested to see where everything else is in relation to us. On the Archfield side, we have a town. And it's Breckenary. It's going to be nice to see if we have some equipment, maybe. Something to help our defense a little bit would be nice, but otherwise, not so nice. Flame Sword, Silver Shield, Magic Armor. That is a... Breck is a one-stop shop for all your equipment that isn't called Erdrick. So it'll be interesting to see, since we do know that there's the gold grind possibility in the Tantagel treasury. Does Archfield make another attempt to set that up and just gold grind the crud out of everything to go buy Magic Sword, or sorry, Flame Sword, Magic Armor, and Silver Shield? I believe Guelph went southwest, I believe, and unfortunately finds a dead end. Yeah, that is the one bad thing. Breckenary is quite a ways away, and there's quite a few not so nice enemies between here and there. But if we can get our hit points up just a little bit, we might be able to tank a hit or two. No heal spells at the moment, which is a little bit scary, but... Ooh, we got an Axe on Guelph side. We have a Fun Police over on Archfield side. Archfield getting the Hurtmore off on the Red Dragon. Unfortunately, it was not enough. And he's going to go home. But I mean, to get the Hurtmore off on that red in the first place, I'm not quite sure the percentages, but I know it's low. In the meantime, Guelph getting to level 7, and we finally get a heal spell, and we also get Radiant, which is going to be very, very nice. Might be able to better go through that lovely, lovely mountain cave that's so close to Tangential. Archfield also moving up to level 7. It's going to pick up heal and Radiant. Yes, chat letting me know it's the 1 in 16 of the Hurtmore on the Red Dragons, which, yeah. Archfield seems to be in a little better position here with that getting Radiant, since, you know, right outside of Mountain Cave, might be able to go there, but looks like it's instead going to push out west. Meantime, Guelph has found the western border of the map. We have a Wolf Lord with Stop Spell. That is a very nice thing to see for Guelph. Wolf Lords might be the grind of the day, at least up till like level 9 or 10. Oh, assuming they don't attack, which that one just did. Guelph being sent home by the Wyvern was completely out of resources, so probably not worried about taking that death. Probably excited to get back home and, again, possibly go explore this mountain cave now that we have a way to light it up. So we're not having to try to bonk our way around. Archfield trying to run away from that Scorpion. The Scorpion would be like, no, you're going to hang out for a while. Yeah, Guelph going to take advantage of having Radiant and beeline it straight back to the mountain cave. It's going to light her up, and let's see how far we can get. So we've already seen Demon Knights and Blue Dragons down here. And there's a Harp. Well, we know where Harp Turn-In is. It's right underneath Tantagel, so we can turn that in right away if we wanted to. Meantime, Archfield is still moving on around, doing some exploring. Guelph, unfortunately, getting some bad luck with those Demon Knights and gets sent home, but thankfully home's not that far away. Archfield, unfortunately, being sent home by an Armored Knight. It was out of resources anyway, so probably not too beat up about that one. I'll have to see if Archfield decides to make a beeline down the mountain now that he's been sent back home. Yep, there's Guelph heading back in the mountain. Meanwhile, Archfield's got level 8. 17, 17, 0, 8, and outside. That's some nice strength and agility gains there. Yeah, it looks like Guelph got away from the Druin Lord and just tossed it over to the other side of the screen to Archfield there. Guelph, I believe, is in the second level of mountain, but unfortunately that's as far as he's going. Guelph being sent home by the Star Wyvern. Did I just see that Green Dragon has heal more? That could be a little problematic. Yeah, you never want to see a dragon with heal more. That's a little scary. Guelph thankfully able to survive the hurt more from the ghost. It's going to heal up, and again, probably trying to beeline it back down towards that mountain cave. Wants to do a complete dive of it. Do not blame them. In the meantime, here's Archfield back down onto the second floor. It was the green dragons that had the heal more. Which isn't the worst, you know, it could be reds, but still not fun. That's an MD, that's more than likely a magic keys. I believe we are stocked full of them. And yet another empty, and some gold. At this point, I expect Archfield to go after that last chest, and then look to do a death warp, setting up that gold grind to head back to Breckenary with. We'll have to see if Archfield has the same idea. And an herb in our last chest. But yeah, I can see Archfield using up all the resources he has and then just taking the Death Warp, setting up the gold grind. Guelph, in the meantime, is going to get level 8. He's going to get that nice 1717 power and speed. At the same time, Archfield making it to level 9, which is going to give us 11, 0, 6, and 34 magic points. Well, we can cast a lot of Hurtmores now. That is 17 Hurtmores that we can now cast. In the meantime, Archfield is going to be sent back home. Again, probably not upset about this. Sets up the gold grind in the treasury, and we'll have to see what Archfield's thinking. Is Archfield thinking about all three of the sword, the armor, and the shield, or are we thinking just a couple of them? Well, we're going to stock up on Fairy Waters, or Sword Magicians, as the screen is telling us. Well, getting the bad news about all the keys down in the bottom of Mountain is not going to set up. Guelph has not gone out, does not know what Breckenary has, so did not set up the gold grind. So this could be an early turning point, depending on how far Archfield decides they want to take this gold grind. If they want to get everything, which would be somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say, 35,000 gold. Meantime, Guelph is starting to make their way around towards where Breck would be, but unfortunately gets run blocked by a golem. Golem says, go back home. And Guelph says, you know what, I'm just going to go the other way. I'm going to go west. Screw going east, which I do not blame Guelph in the least. And knowing it's just Breckenary over there, and I don't think there was anything else that we saw over that direction, probably not a bad idea. If Guelph can go and do some exploration and end up with Adric's armor, Adric's sword, while Archfield's taking the time to grind up for the flame sword and magic armor, could completely render this gold grind useless. But yeah, there it is, 36,000 gold there on Archfield's side, and it's going to take the save. I love this idea. We want to definitely take the safety save here. Looks like we're going to go pick up some keys first, then we're going to go take the safety save. That way, in the event that we get bamboozled on our way back to Breckenary, we can come back and just reload and still have all of our gold back with us. Looks like Archfield's going to take the time to actually turn in the harp as well. You know, while in Tantagel, might as well go ahead and get this taken care of. Pick up our Staff of Rain. And now that we do that, we're going to go take that save. Meantime, Guelph is wandering around. It looks like Guelph has found another town. We have found Cantlin. Cantlin's going to be nice, and we're going to be able to see if we have coordinates. We're also going to check this shop. We do have a flame sword in Cantlin as well. Don't have enough money for that right now, so we're just going to kind of pick up some chainmail, get a little bit of extra defense. And in the small shop down the bottom, we have a small shield, but nothing really else that useful. Meantime, Archfield does get stopped by an Axe Knight, was able to tank a hit and take care of it. Looks like Guelph's going to go pick up some herbs. Not a bad idea at all. Ooh, a golem on Archfield's side, but does manage to get away first try. I believe we are, yep, there's Breckenary on our screens. Archfield is going to make it, and is about to be the proud owner of the best armor, money, and weaponry money can buy. Meantime, Guelph gets over to the coordinates. And we are 15 south, 26 west. That seems to be a pretty countable coordinates here. Anytime Archfield decides to take the fast way home by getting a nice little death warp. And Archfield immediately taking all that wonderful, wonderful new armor and weaponry out for a spin, heading back east and south, or sorry, west and south. Gonna start doing some exploring, and don't blame him. We've got 70 strength, 57 hit points. We're level 9, we're doing okay. Meantime, Guelph, armed with the knowledge of the coordinates, is going to exit out of Cantlin and do some more exploring over here. There's going to be level 9 for Guelph at 11 power and 34 magic. Probably very nice to see. Will not be surprised to see Guelph dive right back into Cantlin and re-heal to get that MP bonus. Meantime, Archfield is diving down into this little desert area, trying to find these Axe Knights and Star Wyverns that are down here. Probably thinking about doing a little bit of a grind at the current moment. That's going to be level 10 for Archfield. That is 3021 and return. So hit points are nice there, not much else. But Archfield can do damage to the Dragon Lord if he wants to. Granted, it's only 1 damage, but hey, it's damage. At that rate, you'd only need to cast Heal More, which we don't have yet, but you only need to cast Heal More 150 times. Archfield doing some exploration is starting to head in the direction of where we know Cantlin to be from Guelph's side. Guelph doing a little bit of grinding, then once out of resources, coming back here to the inn. Very, very smart move. Archfield diving south instead of to the east, which is where we know Caitlin was. Runs into a golem. We'll have to see if we can get away this time. We do. Unfortunately, we find a dead end in this forest over here. We're going to see what's behind this big old swamp. Archfield trying to wander around, make sure we don't miss any towns, miss any caves. Guelph, in the meantime, picking up a level 10. It's going to kind of push out a little bit more away from Caitlin. Still no heal more, which I know both runners are probably looking for, saying, you know, hey, we would like this, please. It looks like Archfield has found Caitlin. So we go ahead and pick up a bunch of herbs. Probably check the shops there. Well, probably not going to check the shops. Nothing really in the shops that Archfield is going to need. Well, that is a town and a cave over on Guelph's side. We're going to go check the town first. It is Cole, and I believe that was Sherlock that I just saw very briefly on the left side of Guelph's screen. But we're going to search Cole, and that is the token. So we have another piece of the homework. And we have a last minute lineup change here in the booth, as I now have Lapkin with me. How are you doing tonight, Lapkin?
Hey, what's up? Saw you up here in the booth by yourself. Figured I'd just jump on in. I just ran a 5K and just came home and saw that this was happening. So, yeah, I figured I'd help out on comms.
Oh, congratulations. Hopefully it's a nice restful comms for you.
Yeah, it was pretty chill events. So we're 27 minutes into this. I'm just going to take a look here. It looks like we've had ArchfieldMonk do a gold grind and turn in the harp. And Guelph has already picked up the token, so not a huge advantage on either side, but I have to imagine that gold grind's going to pay off.
Yeah, right now we had a big gold grind. We had the Tangential Treasury was 2 gold and 2 fairy water chests. Underneath Tangential was the harp turning cave, so made that for nice and easy. And then Breckenary had all 3 of the big ticket items, the flame sword, the magic armor, the silver shield. Archfield grinded up to 36,000 gold and didn't make it to Breckenary one piece to turn all that in. Picks up level 11 here. It's only 1 power, no speed, 12 hit points, and I didn't quite catch the magic, but it wasn't a big number. Looks like it was
Comparing
only 1.
to Guelph, it looks like 1, yeah. So you said the harp turner was under Tangential, so whenever Guelph just takes another death, they can just pick up that staff pretty easily then?
That's probably going to be the plan. I know we got lucky with Mountain Cave, was just to the southwest of Tangential, and we're able to set up the gold grind there pretty easily. However, Guelph had not seen Breckenary at that time, so did not actually set up the gold grind, and is just now kind of still over in that area searching around.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it looks like with that heal more spell, the Axe Knights that ArchfieldMonk's been running into aren't going to be too big of a problem. Unfortunately, though, the Fun Police, they're a bit of a different story with no heal more, and wow, this agility, I'm just looking at it now, is awful. So, oh, he gets away anyway! Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 39 agility, not very nice, but did get the run and is going to go on a healing spree here, saying, we're okay, we're okay. Meantime, Guelph has returned back to Tantangel. It's probably going to be running straight down underneath, turning that heart. Archfield finding the freebie cave and what we know to be coal, as well as Sharlock. Both runners probably breathing a sigh of relief that there's a town right outside of Sharlock, just because it makes it easier to cast Repel and get that heal before making that dive when time comes.
Absolutely, and yeah, so here we go. Here goes Guelph. Gonna go ahead and turn in that heart. And Monk finding cool is going to pick up that token. So now, with the level and equipment advantage, I have to say, unless there's something I don't know about, I have to say ArchfieldMonk's in a pretty commanding position here.
Yeah, right now it's pretty much just the equipment that Archfield has the lead on. I think Guelph has a little bit of an exploration lead, but for the most part right now it's going to be whoever can find Garenham and or the Grave first might have a bit of a higher chance of pulling this one away.
Well, now it's going to come down to how efficiently they can use that NP that they have, and yeah, ArchfieldMonk here, the pretty significant experience advantage is probably going to be hitting level 12 here, not too far away from that.
Yeah, we had a very early Hurtmore. We got Hurtmore level 2, and Archfield kind of parlayed that into an early grind, whereas Guelph, as I said, did a little bit more exploration. Has explored more to the west than to the east. Breckenary was to the east of Tantangel. Guelph has gone over that way a couple times, but not really too much.
Oh, that's unfortunate they don't have stop spell to try to deal with this blue dragon, just throwing out Hurtmores galore. Also not going for the 50-50 Hurtmore himself, but I understand that, you know, if you know they're going to Hurtmore you down, it's a little bit tough call to try to go for that 50-50, but ooh, and Werewolves casting stop, so ArchfieldMonk immediately just going right to that Hurtmore, just going to cut down that experience that he needs for that next level. Really, really close already. He's at that 3,000 mark.
Yeah, both runners doing a great job of taking what enemies they're finding on their exploration over here and picking up those good levels. Haven't had to see anyone just kind of sit in the zone for very, very long. I mean, Guelph sat by Caitlin for a while just because it was right there and we could heal up after gaining that level, getting that huge MP boost. And Archfield really just, again, other than the very early grind right in front of Tantangel, has only just mostly been taking fights as he went, except, proving me wrong right now and wandering around this desert saying, hey, I want to get these Axe Knights. There's some juicy XP here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with no heal more and agility being as low as it is, you definitely want to get every level you can as quickly as possible. So here comes level 12, 10 power, 1 speed, 10 to 116, 0, but he just gets stop spell. So that's something to keep in your back pocket in case you do see those blue dragons later.
Yeah, and Archfield's found a very nice zone. I mean, Axe Knights here, it's you can keep getting those. You're going to be able to get some quick levels.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I like this play. I mean, again, it can be a tough call to make, especially you've got the gear, you've got Hurtmore, and so you kind of maybe want to explore on the map a little bit, but with the agility holding you back, and once you find these Axe Knights in this desert, I mean, this is a great play. I really like this. But that, again, it's all about the style, and some people prefer exploration, some people prefer grinding, and right now we see Archfield's kind of taking an audible here, so to speak.
Yeah, and the good news for Archfield is, if I'm not mistaken, Cantland is literally just over to the to the west, like half a screen. So once we run out of resources, it's not like it's that hard to go heal up and get right back to it. Meantime, Guelph unfortunately did take a death, got sent back home, and is going to go right back to trying to see what's out there.
Wow, alrighty. So taking out those werewolves earlier, maybe didn't know about the DL2 breath. I don't know if we want to pull that up on screen. I have to imagine that was a 25 or a 50% at best. And I'm assuming that ArchfieldMonk didn't know that stop spell and DL2 breath. So I assume the stop spell had to land first. I was looking away for a moment. That's very unfortunate if that's the case.
Yeah, it was like 50% stop, 50% DL2, and that's just only thing worse than that would be a 50% sleep, 50% DL2, in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to avoid that wombo as much as possible, and just counting out those coordinates with not a single problem. I'm not sure if we know where the jerk is, but Monk does have that Sherlock access now momentarily.
We do not know where jerk is. We have not seen it yet. It was stones on the search spot, if I'm not mistaken there. To answer a question in chat. But Archfield heading back over towards Breckenary. Getting stopped by this golem. We've got the hit points to tank a hit or two, so shouldn't be a problem. Archfield finds another town and a cave. We have found Hoxus. We have Hurtmore. We found Hoxus. Let's see what's over here, shall we?
Yeah, how many cursed belts have we seen so far? I'm curious to know if there's a guaranteed item here or not. Obviously, you want to check in either case, but
I don't think we've seen any cursed belts as of yet. So it's entirely possible there's nothing here.
All the cursed belts apparently buried in Sherlock. As Monk is going to heal up and go ahead and check and see what's on the spike tile. I believe 4125 is the next level, so already closing in on that really quickly. And this is looking pretty nice here. Again, taking advantage of all of that gold grind gear, just going to make quick work of this wizard. And this is looking like a real nice zone regardless of what's on the spike tile.
Yeah, it's opening up a 1,100 experience lead right now on Guelph. But Guelph has been grinding up in that Axite zone that we know is out to the east of Cantlin. So, looks like a blue dragon there on this spike tile.
Yeah, and again, already knowing that that they've got that Hurtmore spell, goes ahead and starts off with the stop spell. Looks like he landed it. Unfortunately, this blue dragon just not playing nice right now. Okay, there we go. That's what he wanted to see.
Yeah, especially with no heal more, makes it a little bit risky.
Alright, he does land that second 50-50 to take out this blue dragon. Is there anything here, though?
It's a flute.
Well, you never know. Could be a golem sitting there on the spike tile in Sherlock, so people do tend to scoff a little bit at the fairy flute, but it could come in handy.
I mean, the golem grind is a perfectly acceptable grind. I say, having done one less than 4 hours ago in my race.
Sometimes it turns out to be your best option. The golems, obviously you can put them to sleep, and they do have fairly low defense, even if they do have obnoxiously high hit points. But if it's the best grind, it's the best grind.
Archfield, I'm not sure if Archfield's going after that cave or not. It's already checked it, and we just didn't see. Maybe he wants to get to level first? Yeah, I think he wanted to get to level first, because that's going to be level 13. That is 3, 9, 14, and 6. No spells.
But suddenly, in one level, nearly 25% boost in agility. That'll be very welcomed here, as again the agility has been pretty bad up to this point.
Yeah, but we found Swamp North.
Yeah, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Not going to be able to just hit that outside to get to the other side. You're going to have to walk through it. Obviously, already having found the stones on the search spot will not be rescuing the princess, but maybe we'll check. No, not even going to check the spike tile either. Just going to immediately head to the other side and see what they can find.
Yeah, I think with the abundance of decent zones that we found with axe knights and some other things, no need to check the spike tile. Even if it is something grindable, probably not going to be in our best interest to grind it. We can just go walk back and forth in that desert by Cantland and get all the levels we need.
Absolutely.
Guelph making a dive down. I think this is going to be their first time seeing Brecken area. I don't think they'd ever made it this far. One of the reasons why is because that Wolf Lord had DL2. Or not Wolf Lord, just regular Wolf. But Archfield definitely doing some exploring. We're going to find another cave. Well, we're going to have to find a knight first, then we'll find the cave.
Gotta pay that MP tax before you can come inside. You don't want to have too easy of a time. Oh, there we go. There is the jerk. Rainbow drop in hand for Monk.
So the question here for ArchfieldMonk is, do you dive Sharlock in hopes that both armor and sword are down there?
Well, that would depend on what is left on the map, so I'm not sure if either of our runners have seen, for example, the Grave or Mountain Cave. Gambit, what have they seen so far?
Mountain Cave was right next to Holmes, but we have fully explored it. We have not seen Grave yet. And at this point, I think Grave has to be vanilla.
Oh, in the back of Garenham?
Yes, I believe the only place left for Grave is... Okay, no. We haven't found Tablet Cave yet either, so still a chance.
Gotcha. Okay, so hopefully, Garenham is going to either have 4 or 8 chests, depending on what spawns back there. So, yeah, with that information out there, I think you definitely try to find at least Garenham, if not the Grave as well, before you decide to dive. Yeah, I 100% agree with Schmite. You definitely want to find... this looks like it might be Garenham right here.
Should be. I think that's the only thing we hadn't seen, and yep, that is indeed Garenham.
So you have the Graves back here. That's your hope, because yeah, and I assume they know where Sharlock is as well.
Yes, we have seen Sharlock. It is over near Cole.
Alrighty. So yeah, if you got the Grave back here and you don't find either the sword or the armor, then I think that Sharlock would be the play. It's just a matter of whether or not Monk would want to make that dive without getting heal more first. But of course, you hope that if you're a runner, you hope both items are back here. If you're chat, maybe not so much.
Archfield unfortunately getting bodied by those NPCs. They were running a nice offensive line there. We've got a curse belt, a fighter's ring, and a dragon scale. Well, we really didn't care about any of those, but we'll take them.
Hey, Babby's first adventurer kid. It's all right here.
And that is even... nope, that's Tablet Cave.
Yep, they would need to be facing down for the possibility of Garenham, and unfortunately they were facing right, so it definitely wasn't going to be Garenham. So now, now I think the choice gets a little bit more interesting, because you have, I believe, 7 chests in Sharlock and 5 in the Grave. So, I mean, it's tough. You've got 2 items left that are still outstanding, and it really depends on how good have you been doing at efficiently exploring the map and cutting off all the corners, and now are you at that point where you're confident that you can find the Grave in a relatively decent amount of time? And it'll be interesting to know. I definitely want to ask later what's on Archfield's mind at this point. I'm going to go ahead and fight this golem here real quick as he makes his way through the swamp.
Might just be putting it to sleep so we can run away. Nope, fighting it. In the meantime, Guelph, I believe, went and checked what the spike tile was in Swamp, and it is indeed Axite. So instead of having to wander around that little desert area, we can go and do a dedicated grind on those nights down in Swamp. Now, it looks like Archfield is going to continue to search for the grave, which I honestly agree with right now. Meantime, Guelph is heading back down towards Breck. That's where they were before they got sent home. Archfield, unfortunately, finding that red dragon is going to get sent home as well. And it's going to be interesting to see what Archfield decides to do, because where he was exploring is a long way from home. So does he decide to make the run back to where he was and continue looking, or do we go try Charlock? And the direction he's heading, I believe we might be trying Charlock.
Yeah, again, I mean, the actual odds on play, I mean, again, it is 7 chests compared to 5, and you know where one thing is, you're looking for the other thing, so do you go with what you know, or do you go with, you know, the 100% completion? It's a little bit tough.
So Guelph, in the meantime, finding another town. What could that be? I think we've seen everything. So what exactly is this? Oh, it's Rimbledar. That's what we haven't seen yet. I had completely forgotten that Rimbledar existed. It's a death necklace. That could be something, depending on what we're looking at. Probably not going to be really needed this seed, considering what our attack power is. Looking over on ArchfieldMonk's side, at least.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting decision here, because, I mean, ArchfieldMonk is already right on the cusp. I mean, 11 more hit points, and you do feel comfortable putting that death necklace on. No heal more just yet. And so we could find ourselves in a situation where, again, if you do hit that 130 HP mark, even if your attack power is high, you know, you could shave off 1 or 2 turns from your Dragon Lord 2 fight. That might make the difference. So they're both going to have it as an option here. And it'll be interesting to see if either of them even consider using it or not.
Yeah, Archfield drops the Dragon Scale for the Death Necklace, so definitely going to keep it available as an option. It sounds like Guelph is sitting here in this desert just to the east of Rimbledar, and it's going to grind up to level 13.
Yeah, catching up there in experience, or kind of hot on the heels there of Monk. And I'm not sure off the top of my head what the sex level is at, but Skull is getting real close, if not there.
I want to say it's 5750, which definitely we just hit, and that's going to be 2, 1, 36, and 0. Yeah, HP definitely in Death Necklace territory now.
Yeah, HP is at the obnoxious point where, I mean, you might as well slap the Death Necklace on right now if you're going to it all. This is... oh boy.
Yeah, so at this point, it's a hunt for the grave.
Yeah, and this is kind of it's one of the situations that you really don't love being in if you're a runner. because you're just looking for that one location. I mean, we saw this yesterday. For anyone who happened to catch the early race with Juf and the other runner's name slips my mind at the moment, but all he needed to find was Cantlin, and just could not seem to figure it out before Juf finished that race. So it's a little bit unfortunate there, but this might be it for Monk. Just needs to find that one cave.
Yeah, at this point, it would probably be most advantageous for ArchfieldMonk if Armor and Sword are actually in Charlock. If they are in the grave and Guelph happens to find it first, would definitely give him the ability to come back. If it's not, and Guelph's having to dive and doesn't, want to take the time to do the full-on gold grind to pick up that magic armor or flame sword, definitely would make for a harder dive on Guelph's part.
Yeah, and it's tough though because I mean, even if Guelph were to find the grave first, they still have to go and pick up the stones on the map and turn in that rainbow drop, and so those are a lot of boxes left to check, even if they were to get that sword in the armor first. Now, I'm not sure if this cave on the screen is one that's new or not. Archfield still, of course, taking his time to fight this golem, still needs a little bit more experience to potentially get that hurt more spell, or sorry, the heal more spell.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Archfield saying, hey, I've got the fairy flute, we've got these golems that I'm finding, might as well just put them to sleep, get that 350 experience. It's not like it's going to hurt me too much, and just widening that experience lead. Meantime, Guelph picked up the rainbow drop. Apparently did pick up the stones at some point, we just didn't see, but now has the rainbow drop.
Well, ignoring that cave is ArchfieldMonk, so not what they are looking for at the moment. And this again is where it just gets really frustrating to you're just trying to find that one last spot, and you're like, oh my goodness, did my opponent find this first already? What parts of the overworld have I not been to yet? This can't be it here. Unfortunately, the sprite is facing to the right, so we do know that this is... Oh, gonna go back and check the spike tile first. Interesting choice. Maybe just wants to get level 16 now and get that hurt more spell.
Yeah,
I keep saying hurt more, heal more.
That might be the play here. Just go ahead and say, look, let's see what's on the spike tile. We know it's Actites because Guelph has already shown us. It's a pretty dang good grind spot. Go ahead, just get our level, get the heal more, and then make the decision, do we keep diving for grave or do we just go ahead and dive Charlock?
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, again, the next level is going to be here, and it's a matter of whether or not Healmore comes yet. They have Healmore. They've had Healmore for a while now, but if Healmore is picked up here, does the dive commence immediately?
We're about to find out. We have 3, 5, 1, 2, no Healmore. We have to go to 16.
Alrighty, so that should come here pretty quickly. I want to say 9,500 or 9,750 is the next target.
9,750, so...
Not quite enough MP to do it in one go, but I don't know, maybe could just punch Max Knights out after exhausting all of the resources. And then, I mean, maybe at that point, you just fight your way down Charlock. You say, so one of the things that you can do in Charlock and fight your way down is you can see, okay, what kind of enemies are here? Is there anything that I can be potentially repelling when I do make that dive to win? But then, of course, if you find that neither of the items are there, then that's a whole bunch of time that you just handed to your opponent. So, again, always a tough call in these scenarios.
In the meantime, Guelph has found the grave, and unfortunately our top 3 chests were all busts. So We'll have to do a deep dive down and hope that these bottom two provide fruit.
Yeah, I mean, with just 2 chests left to check here in the grave, the odds drastically go down of trying to find that. You hope that at least one of the items is here, so that your opponent has to come here and check. Otherwise, then Guelph is the one who feels like he had to disappoint him a lot of time, and unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of time to spare.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Guelph in this situation, I do a full dive here and I don't find armor or sword, then I automatically start feeling, oh crap, I am super behind, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not here to see Guelph. Well, there's the armor, so that's all moot point now. Yeah, it's a big armor pickup for Guelph there.
Yeah, that's going to be huge because now we know that Monk is going to have to find the grave eventually. Whether or not everything is here, I mean, again, so 1 in 8 now. See whether or not the sword's here. Yes, the #1 most important thing to know about commentary is to hedge every single thing that you say.
Exactly.
Then you can never be wrong.
So Guelph getting some good run luck. Now we've got that armor, that better defense, being able to get away from these enemies a little bit better.
Absolutely. And yeah, taking a look again, I mean, Monk now has very close to double the experience of Guelph, so I mean, really the only advantage right now Guelph has is having that armor. But Monk is just relentlessly fighting everything that he comes across, knows that he needs to get to level 16. That is when he is guaranteed to get that heal more spell. Final chest, and wins the sword. They're both here?
Oh, the odds of them both being in deep grave. Guelph needs to go back to that spike tile in Swamp Cave and just start grinding. Because that could be the big equalizer here.
This just got real interesting because if Guelph goes back to Swamp Cave and finds that Axe Knight, I mean, he's going to catch up in experience so fast and all the time in the world here while ArchfieldMonk tries to find the grave. And especially if Archfield decides to dive Charlock first, oh boy.
In the meantime, Guelph does know that the Axe Knight's in Swamp. Did cast outside immediately, though, is heading straight back to Breck. Might feel like he's already behind and is planning to just go ahead and make the dive. I mean, 119 hit points, 93 MP. That's not that bad. And if you can pick up the rest of the levels on a Charlock dive, but it is at least 3 levels he's going to need to get, so...
Yeah, it's not going to be too tough here now. I mean, look at the the huge defense boost here with that and the attack power boost as well. I mean, now all that gold grind gear is not terribly advantageous for Monk.
And Guelph actually finding this golem right outside of Breck. That's actually not a bad thing. Maybe just run around this little desert around Breck and keep going for these golems.
Absolutely not, especially if you get a Kaishin no Ichigeki for, I want to say, about 115 damage. So you can go ahead and shatter that golem into pieces.
That looks like Guelph saying, nope, I'm going to take the sure thing and get straight back to that spike tile in the Swamp Cave. Yeah, I was going to go into it with full HP, and, well, was going to go into it full HP until the Screen Dragon decided to back attack. So here's going to be the interesting thing. Guelph has armor and sword. Is in Swamp Cave grinding and knows is not that far away from Charlock, where they're doing their grind. Archfield is having to dive and try to find the grave right now. And then once you find the grave, has to decide, okay, do I want to return back to Tentacle and move back over to Charlock from there? Do I want to retrace my steps? How do I want to do this? It could come down to who enters Charlock first at this point. And by extension, it could come down to Charlock RNG as to who's going to be able to take this one.
Absolutely, yeah. Monk, I mean, I do not envy his position. Again, this was the position that we saw in a race just yesterday, where it's just one thing that you need to find. Where the heck is the grave? He is facing downwards. He is casting Radiant. He has found it. Now, he doesn't know yet that all the items are here, but we do, and it's going to be such a big sigh of relief once Monk makes this dive. I mean, you're going to feel real bad when you find these empty chests up here at the top, but the dive is going to pay dividends.
Yeah, the only hope here is going to be that doesn't get an unfortunate back attack by something that he can't get away from and get sent home without getting to those two chests. In the meantime, Guelph is starting to chop up some Axe Knights and have to see how quickly he can get that experience. Right now, almost about 4,000 behind.
The only thing, though, is that, Monk is going to pick up these items, and I have to imagine just go, do not pass go, do not collect 200 gold, just go immediately to Charlock. Now, chat talking about this agility. I mean, 63 agility, yes, that is pretty terrible. And, having that Erdrick's armor and silver shield, 81 defense, you're only damage breaking wizards at that point. That's about it. However, let's take a look at that HP here. 156 HP, 96 MP. I want to say you could spare at least you could spare like 3 or 4 heal wars if you're not putting on the death necklace. I think you're looking pretty decent here, even with the agility being what it is.
Yeah, I think it's a situation of this is, especially in Archfield's case, where you're getting this so late. You've got to be thinking, what if my opponent got here first? What if they picked up this stuff super early and are already in Charlock? I can't risk waiting and trying to get a little bit better agility, a little bit better defense. I've just got to go.
Yeah, no, in a tournament setting, I mean, you just have to go. I think, though, seeing some of the enemies that we've seen here, I mean, there's blue dragons in here, there's golems in here. I think you can feel pretty confident that nobody made this dive at a low level, given what the agility being what it is. But you do wonder if, potentially 10 minutes ago someone found this, or 15 minutes ago. I mean, that's definitely enough time for, here we go, ArchfieldMonk casting return, going to go ahead and get all of the MP back. But now, I mean, you're probably waiting to see that dot done at any moment.
Yeah, both runners, I wouldn't be surprised. They're sweating bullets, looking at that race room going, how am I still in this? How am I still in this? And in the meantime, this is Archfield's to lose at this current moment. The earlier grind and the higher levels are what is going to give him the chance to propel him to victory. But as we said, Charlock RNG, it could come down to that.
Yeah, there's plenty of resources here to spare. Although we do, need to get that MP topped off, but got a town right here. And once Monk heads in, I like the odds, but it all depends on what enemies are awaiting and how many encounters they get.
Yeah, the joys of Cole being right here at Charlock. We're going to go ahead and heal up and start making the dive in an hour and 3 minutes. And for a race, it's only an hour and 3 minutes in. This one feels like it's been so much longer with all the twists and turns we've taken.
Absolutely. Big Slime was saying that Gilmore at 16, hour and 3 minutes in. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of those runners. I mean, I always feel like I'm behind unless I happen to find, like, you know, if you find Eldritch Sword in the first 10 minutes, then you feel like you might be at a decent position. But finding Eldritch Sword this late, knowing it was there, I mean, knowing again that no one was likely going to pick it up in the first 10 minutes, but within the last 15 or so, anything is possible. Green Dragons here, Golems too. Very friendly so far for the Solar Trinity.
See, repel loses effect. Archfield saying, the heck with it. I'm not going to worry about repelling anything. My agility is and defense is so bad anyway. It doesn't matter. Just going to try to make this run. And the good news on Guelph side's already up to just shy of 8,000 experience. So definitely picking that experience up real fast. Should be at level 16 here within the next 5 minutes or so. Only question is it going to be a little bit too little too late?
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the quality of this dive as, I mean, Monk appears to be making very, very quick work of this dive here, not really getting held up by too many things. Of course, is that going to wind up being the caster's curse? I mean, Wizards and Star Wyverns here in the middle zone. Absolutely what you want to see if you're sitting on 63 agility.
That's going to be the other question coming from chat. Will Guelph stop at 16? Will Guelph get 16 and say, you know, 63 agility, 96 magic, 81 defense, I need to go one more? Or do you just say 16's enough, I just have to go?
It's entirely possible. Gets away from the AK-47 first try. Oh my goodness. We have seen both red monsters in the zone. This could be the thing that costs Monk a few, you know, a little bit of resources. And again, anything that's going to keep Monk away from this Dragon Lord is only going to be a boon for Guelph35.
Star Wyvern right there held him up pretty bad, having to burn some of the herbs just to kind of get the HP back up. But we are down at the bottom. We are making our final walk. We're just going to come down to what's on the spike tile.
Absolutely, and again, it could be that Golem. He could make some use of that Fairy Flute. We've definitely seen use of that Fairy Flute already on the Overworld, but will we need to use it in Charlock?
So we found a golem, but it wasn't on a spike tile. Spike tile is a blue dragon. That's actually not too bad. So we've got the HP to tank hurt more in a couple attacks, so should be able to get through this with relatively decent HP. Gonna go ahead and use the rest of our herbs right here to go ahead and heal up. So it does get stopped by an Armor Knight on the way, and we're just going to fight through it. It's an interesting decision. Maybe feels... Oh, they have heal more too. Oh. But we do get to run. And Archfield is going to use the Death Necklace, try to get that little bit of extra attack power, and here we go into Dragon Lord 1.
Alrighty. Gonna go ahead and... I thought he was gonna two-shot deal one. A little bit unfortunate here, but not even going to bother using the herbs at all. just going to go straight into DL2. Will there be a back attack? No. Was waiting on that text. ArchfieldMonk delays that input just a little bit. And starting off with a solid 14 here.
Another 12 is going to put us at 26.
Alrighty, so throwing on that death necklace. 19, more towards the top of the range here. That's closer to what Monk is looking for.
Yeah, it's 45 total right now. 64, that's a very, very nice 2 19s in a row. $75.
Yeah, gonna bring that up to 85 now. And looking pretty good here. Making good use of that sword, that high attack power. Looking for those big rolls. 11 minimum, oh boy, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, but at this point, I think, barring a very bad mismenu, Archfield, I think, has enough heal mores to deal with some minimum rolls. We got another one there, another 11. Could get close, but I think we should be okay.
We were already in the 80s. I lost my count. I want to say we're probably right around 115 or so. You can see that 17 just now. And a 12 is going to do it.
There we go.
Gentlemen, please get out your GGs. ArchfieldMonk is going to finish in first place with a pretty commanding lead overall as Guelph. Go ahead and put this golem to sleep just on the cusp of level 16.
Yep, but ArchfieldMonk has indeed finished in first place with a final time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 47 seconds. Definitely get your GGs out in chat.
Very excellent run here from what I did manage to see. ArchfieldMonk going to go ahead and move on to a 2-0 lead in their group. And it looks like Guelph is going to go ahead and try to wrap things up. Just needs to make that dive the same way that ArchfieldMonk did.
Yeah, I think in the end, the big difference in this was Archfield's early grind, getting that big level advantage, and was able to parlay that into getting into Charlock first, getting down there, and taking out the Dragon Lord. Guelph unfortunately had a little bit of bad luck getting that grind going, but finishing it up now, and unfortunately, as I said, just a little too late. Not a bad run at all by Guelph, though. This seed was a little bit of a tricky one all the way through, but not a bad run to be sitting even at an hour 12, getting just now into Charlock. You'll take that any day.
Absolutely, and hopefully we can get ArchfieldMonk in here momentarily for a quick interview. And then, of course, Guelph35, assuming that they are successful in this attempt, join us shortly thereafter.
You say that, and we get back attacked by an Armored Knight.
Yeah, the Charlock is not an easy one to get through. I mean, Monk really did have quite the clean dive. Not sure how many AK-47s they ran into on the first floor. Well, finally managing to get away from that one after about 4 or 5 blocks.
I like this fact that Guelph's not worrying about healing quite yet. It says, you know, hey, I can heal on my walk. I'll be fine. I don't need to use an herb. I don't need to use any of my resources yet.
Yeah, when you've got that much HP to spare, it becomes its own resource. Unfortunately, having a hard time getting away, even from the golems, on this pitifully low agility.
Yeah, with the golems down here, that might be something that you need to just go ahead and use the Fairy Flute. I know it's going to take a couple seconds to play its animation, but just to be on the safe side, because those golems are going to hit hard.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough call. I mean, do you want to take the 8 or 9 second time loss from playing the flute, or do you want to just bank on that first try flee He is recovering his hit points slowly but surely as he walks by. Of course, that back attack is just basically going to erase this entire floor's worth of heal walking.
And taking a look at Archfield's side, how do you know you had a late heal more without telling me you had a late heal more? That's 52 uses of regular heal.
That is definitely very telling as to the results of the seed, and the 8 heal mores as well. I want to say pretty much all of those were used on Dragon Lord 2.
Yes, I believe that is 100% only heal more in Dragon Lord 2, nothing else.
So between heal and heal more, you have the story. You have a large piece of the story of the seed. So very interesting, lovely addition. These behind-the-scenes stats by our longtime community veteran McGrew. And with that ding, I do believe we have ArchfieldMonk here in the booth with us. Archfield, congratulations on that win. Unfortunately, I did miss the beginning of the seed, kind of called an audible and jumped into your last minute. You want to walk me through the first 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, sure. As much as I can remember it anyway. The first kind of 4 minutes stand out because we had a starting key, and so I, hit the throne room again, came back downstairs. We had a starting key in gold, actually, so I hit the throne room, came back downstairs, bought full keys, went to the treasury. There were 2 fairy water chests and a gold chest there, so I'm like, all right. Took a little bit of gold, full fairy water, went outside, got my first level. We, immediately had hurt more, so it was one of those deals, but the agility was quite poor, and so even though Mountain Cave was sitting right there, I just kind of went around and tried to snipe some things. There were wyverns nearby, and I tried to explore a little bit, found Brecconary, saw it had all 3 things, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to get my Death Warp out of Mountain Cave, gold grind, and then just save up and try to barge my way through to there, because I thought the equipment might come in handy, and as it turned out, it really did, because of where the armor and sword ended up being located. If that seed plays out differently, that opening kind of gold grind within the first 20 minutes or so maybe doesn't pay off quite as much, but that just kind of works out that way sometimes.
Yeah, the equipment itself wasn't that big of a factor, but the ability to do your grind earlier and get those levels earlier is what really paid off for you in the end. Guelph did end up finding Grave earlier and getting the sword and the armor, but was about 4,000 experience behind you. And in the attempt to try to grind up, once they had everything, you were able to finally find Grave, pick up everything, and then make your Charlock dive. And you were finishing up right at the time Guelph was getting to level 16.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that was my main concern, because all you had to do was hang a left out of the swamp exit, and Grave was basically right there. I just missed it a little bit to the north. I wasn't careful enough with my edges, and I ended up exploring this big empty nothing to the west of that even. So by the time I got to the Grave and saw where the armor was, and then decided to continue on to the last chest and got the sword, I was just like, good grief, if Guelph got here first, I could be in real trouble.
And that is what tends to happen. I mean, Guelph did end up finding that sword and armor, I want to say about 5 or 10 minutes before you did, but did not yet, at that point, have the stones, so that was your advantage. And meanwhile, we're going to turn our attention here to Guelph35, who is now on the Dragon Lord, and is trying to hold on to as much HP as possible going into DL2. There's the stop spell. Then go ahead and take a swing, take this out. Now, will Guelph35 avoid the back attack? No! Opening attack here from the Dragon Lord will potentially forego that opening double attack. Yes, gets popped for 50 damage, only sitting on the large shield.
Yeah, it looks like Guelph also had to burn a heal more before going into the DL2 fight, so a little bit less resources. This could get a little dicey here.
Yeah, it could, depending on some of the damage rolls here. I do believe we are looking at 45 for the total damage done so far. Now, sitting at 64 heal mores, they should be okay. as long as the damage rolls continue to be above average as they have so far. I believe, again, 63 damage looked like the count. Just had a swing of 18 and a swing of 21 after that. I think Guelph should be okay to finish this one up.
Yeah, barring a miss menu, I think Guelph's going to have this at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking at, I would guess about 115 or so, although that's what I said during ArchfieldMonk's fight. I was completely wrong. Ended up winning on the next attack. So I want to say 2 more attacks here for Guelph35. Again, of course, depends on the damage rolls.
Another 18. We've got to be close. Probably just one more attack. We are going to heal more. Definitely recommend that. Don't risk it at this point. Just take the heal, then do the attack, and there it is. Dragon Lord has been defeated, and Guelph is a return and a walk away from being done with this seed. Get your GG's out in chat for Guelph.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your GG's out for Guelph. Phenomenal performance here. Very good. You know, not just forfeiting immediately. Knew that he had everything that he needed. Was pretty much on his way to Sharlock. Just needed to make that one clean dive and went ahead and did so. And so now we're going to go ahead and finish up in second place with the official time of 1:19:59. Excellently done.
Yeah, very well-run race by both runners. A 10-minute difference, and considering everything, again, all the twists and turns of the seed, to be within 10 minutes of each other and to be sub 80 minutes. Absolutely phenomenal running and definitely worthy of a watch back later.
Absolutely. I want to turn things back over to ArchfieldMonk while we have him in the booth here. I got a question for you. You might have gone over this before when we were looking at the DL2 fight, but you wind up in this position where you've got all the items that you need. You've already found the jerk. You can go ahead and put that bridge down. But you know that Garenham, the grave, tablets out there somewhere. The odds are still kind of in the favor of the map, but do you consider just going into Sharlock and seeing if the sword in the armory there? Was that on your mind at all, or were you like, no, I need to find these other locations first?
I would be lying if I said there wasn't that voice in my head that was shouting, just get into Sharlock. It was a little trickier, though, because when Healmore comes on 16, like, you can't make that dive before that happens.
Right.
And so I was just like, all right, let's go ahead, get Healmore, get Repel. I can get out there and try to find all the rest of this stuff. And if I narrow it down and, Grave is the last thing I come to, then I have to, clear it. So it was just really weird. But yeah, it was such a strange position to be in because I had the rainbow drop. I don't even know when that was, but it felt like it was pretty early. I don't usually look at my timer for that stuff, but it just felt really early, and I was just kind of walking around looking for the rest of the things. So yeah, it was a strange position to be in. You don't normally find yourself, kind of trying to decide what you want to do there.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, you got one decision to make. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? And, which way is my opponent going to go? Speaking of opponents, we do have Guelph35 here in commentators booth with us. Guelph, congratulations on the finish.
Thank
and
you.
As I was explaining to ArchfieldMonk before, I actually came into this a little bit late. So would you want to walk through about the first 30-35 minutes of this race for me from your perspective?
Let's see. I went, well, it took me 3 tries to get through that mountain cave. Had a few other, unfortunate setbacks it took a while to explore the west side of the map, longer than it should have. Once I finally did go east, I think I was about 40 minutes in when I finally started going east, and I was grind and go like 15 minutes later. There's just a lot of just going the wrong way, basically.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, this is 2 seeds in a row now where the map has been looking pretty strange. I mean, at one point I saw what looked like about 52 bridges on the screen all at one time and connected by little tiny bits of land. And you've got these little isolated, mini continents and islands. And it's just such a struggle to try to figure out where anything is or to keep the map in your head. So after that point, you've got you're holding on to your weapons there, and you're trying to look for the stones, trying to figure out where the coordinates are. Now you found the grave with Erdrick's sword and the armor. I want to say about 5 or 10 minutes before ArchfieldMonk did. I would imagine. Are you feeling pretty good at that point, or are you feeling like maybe you're behind because you don't quite have all the quest items together? What were you feeling at that point?
I would have felt better if it wasn't so close to Swamp Cave, because I tried to get away with a little grind in the Swamp Cave and got killed there and didn't go straight back through. If the only path to that grave was to take that long winding road through the bridges, I would have felt a lot better.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But knowing that there was a much quicker path to get there, I mean, I figured, between the early setbacks and there being a much quicker path to where I was, that I knew I was most likely behind, and I kept it within 10 minutes, so can't be too upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. Sorry, being within more or less a Sharlock dive of your opponent is always, you always want to feel pretty good about that. I have one last question for both of you here. I mean, we saw what the choice was, but I do want to kind of get into your heads a little bit here. I'm going to start with you, ArchfieldMonk. 63 agility at level 16. Everything else looks really good. That agility is not great. Was there any consideration at all in your mind about trying to get another level for purposes of agility, or were you just like, well, this is what I got to go with it?
Yeah, here's my kind of, I don't know whether I'm right or not, but this is the way I feel about agility. There are times when I will grind for agility, but only if I think other stats will come along that will help me. The strength was really good. The hit points were really, really good. Because other stats can make up for a lack of agility. So like if I go grind for agility, but my other stats are kind of so-so, then if I get, 24 magic points, that's huge. And it kind of covers even if I don't get any agility. In this situation, I guess I thought about it a little bit just because the grinds were pretty easy. I mean, you could have stop spelled that blue, I suppose, but you just had the Axe Knight sitting there too. So, I gave it about 2 seconds worth of thought, but I didn't really think it would be worth it ultimately because the other stats were unlikely to kind of pick up to paper that over if I didn't get agility.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes complete sense, and it's always a tough call in any instance. Guelph, how were you? We in chat and here up in the commentaries booth were wondering because you were kind of grinding as Monk was putting everything together. Just kind of killing those Axe Knights. Was that a consideration for you at all, possibly going to 17? Or did you just look at it and said, I got to go right now?
Oh, not a chance that I was going to go to 17. I figured I had probably 2 heal mores to burn, at least. And plenty of hit points to start with, and full herbs. And really, nothing in the Sharlock tier that I had seen had sleep. That was really my that would have been the only way. Like if everything was sleep heavy, and you're gonna likely lose a couple heal mores, then maybe you go another level. But with what I had seen, there was nothing to fear enough to take another level. In fact, I was kind of sort of trying to see if I could just get 16 on the spike, but those golems were a little too juicy, and I got it a little early.
Yeah, and you do want to get there whenever you can. Make sure you get those experience points. Make sure you get the stats where they want to be. So I appreciate the commentary there. Gambit, did you have any questions for our runners before we wrap things up?
Nothing that you haven't already covered. Just wanted to say once again, GG.
Nope, Gambit, I think you cut out there.
My apologies. I just want to say GG's. It was a very well run race, and looking forward to seeing you guys' races later on in the tournament.
Absolutely. And once again, before we wrap things up, I'm going to turn it over to ArchfieldMonk. Do you have any final thoughts on the seed? Anything you want to say to your opponent or future races?
Oh, just GG again, Guelph. Thanks for putting this one together. I like these later starts. I don't often get them being here on the West Coast, and so it's nice to get one of these in. Really appreciate it, and just thanks to the crew as well. And Lavkeen, I know you kind of parachuted in at the last minute there, so I appreciate that too. And everybody working to get these races broadcast. We've got so many of them, and it's really great when the volunteers step up the way they have so far, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so.
Well, absolutely. I am more than happy to help out where needed. And Guelph, any final comments on the seed for you? Anything you want to say to your opponent, or anything you want to talk about for the future?
Again, GG's, and again, thanks for running this one late. This week was late night only for me, so glad to get at least one out of the way early. And again, thanks to the crew for doing all this. I'm hoping sometime this month to be able to help out on that side, but if not, I've got 6 more races to run this month.
Absolutely, yes. And as you can see on the schedule, there is an absolute smorgasbord of DWR action that is going to be coming your way. We're going to try to restream as much of these as possible, get that commentary and tracking going for you guys. And of course, huge shout outs. Go ahead and please drop a follow on both of your runners, ArchfieldMonk, Guelph35. They just put on an amazing show for you here tonight. Please drop a follow on our restream crew behind the scenes, MathGirl718 doing the restreaming, Centroid41 doing the tracking, Gambit and myself at the last minute, as was mentioned, doing the commentary. And of course, as always, if you out there in the audience have not yet clicked that link, please click that link, get in our Discord. There are so many people here that are willing to help you out. You could be the next, Guelph35. You could be the next ArchfieldMonk. You could be up here in the commentator's booth, having fun with us, running some races, getting some points, getting that tournament experience. But in order to do that, you got to join the Discord. So click that link, and you will find all kinds of people willing to help you get started. Until the next event, we are going to go ahead and send you over to Mr. Holmes, who I believe is working on some Pokemon Kaizo Randomizer. So stay tuned for that. But until then, have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe, everybody.